Hi everyone, this is Aga from EurekaCrystalBeads.com and I'm here with another fun beading tutorial for you. Before I get started, just a quick reminder to check out the rest of our channel, and if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss any of our content. In this video, we're going to be making these earrings, which I called the fairy mirror. And that's because, first of all of the supplies that I'll be using to make these are from our December 2025 LITE collection. This is the inspiration photo for this collection, and it's called the Fairy Lake Collection LITE. So hence all of the projects are called fairy something. So this reminds me of a fairy mirror of sorts because, well, it's square and the front facet of this beautiful stone inside looks a little bit like a mirror. And what does a fairy see when she looks in the mirror? A beautiful flower, just like here. You have a beautiful flower at the bottom of this gorgeous rose-colored stone. For all of the supplies that you're going to need to make this, look at EurekaCrystalBeads.com, and here are all of those supplies. First of all, you're going to need your earring finding, and I'll be using the ear wires that were in the collection. I was actually really excited to use these because not only are they quite unusual, this earring is going to look so fabulous on the ear. It's going to hang a little bit lower down under the ear and it's going to look very pretty. Plus, these are interchangeable. So as you can see, the loop in here is open. So you can just create your beadwork, put it on, and when you're done, you take it off, you put another piece of beadwork on. So they are very convenient. You just need one pair and you can use it with multiple earrings that you make. Next up, we're going to need our 14mm round stone from Krakovski. It's a beautiful one and a new one that we have. It's called Light Rose Lotus, and the lotus part is actually referring to the style of the stone. It's because of the etching at the back of the stone in the glass that's under the foil that creates this beautiful pattern. So I was super excited to use these too. Next up, I think another star of those earrings are those long 15mm bugle beads from Preziosa Ornella. Then we have some 11/0s also from Preziosa Ornella, but we're not using a lot of them, so any other 11/0 seed beads will work as well. Next up, we have 2mm round drag beads, but I think you could successfully substitute them for 8/0s. Next up, we're going to be using quite a lot of MiniDuos. I love this color that you get in the collection, and we're going to use a lot of them because they're both in the front and in the back. Finally, we're going to need some 15/0s, and in the collection you get a beautiful mix and a full tube of it, so you can pick and choose your colors from this mix. For tools, I'll be using a size 12 needle, so it's the finer one, the thinner one, and I do recommend that you use a thin needle because there's going to be a lot of passes through those 15/0s and through those MiniDuos. With that, I'm going to use a 6-pound Fireline in the color Crystal. That's my favorite thread at the moment. And you don't want to use a thicker one because you might have a problem passing through all of those beads. Finally, I have some scissors that I'm going to use to cut off the excess thread. And that's it. Let's start beading. Alright, so here is the beading plan. We're going to start at the outline. So we're going to be making the square with the bugles first. Then we're going to put in the MiniDuos. We're going to step up and close the front of the bezel. We're going to step back down and create the back with another row of MiniDuos. Close that one up, and then we'll just attach the earring finding. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Alright, I have about half a wingspan of thread on my needle. That's if you hold the spool of thread around the middle of your body and extend one hand, that's half a wingspan. And I'm going to start by picking up 4 bugles and 4 MiniDuos interchangeably. I'm going to slide them all down my thread. And I'm going to pass through this entire sequence, once again creating a square. Now you need to be careful when you pull on your thread after you pass through those bugles because they have sharp ends. They're made of glass, so they can shred your thread. So you really need to be careful about that. Now I'm gonna cut the thread of my spool, and I'm gonna tie these two ends together because that's where they meet. And I want to have a stable structure to start with. But you don't want to do it too tight because it's gonna get hard to pass through all of those beads. They're gonna be super, super tight. So I just tie 3 knots and I don't pull too tight. Right, I started with a bugle, so I'm going to continue with a bugle. I pass through the bugle and this time I'm flipping the MiniDuo inside. So this is gonna be the inside of my square, and I flip the MiniDuo inside. I pulled the knot into the bugle, by the way. And now over in here, I'm gonna add this sequence with a 2mm round drag bead. And that's 11-0 drag bead, 11-0. And I just pass through the next bugle and I avoid the next MiniDuo. These are gonna pop right in. And here as well, I flip this MiniDuo and I add another sequence of 11-0 round bead, 11-0 through the next bugle bead. It's gonna start looking like a square more than a rhombus. I flip this MiniDuo, 11-0 round drag bead, 11-0, into my last corner. By the way, at this point you can cut off the excess thread, the tail thread. 11-0 round drag bead, 11-0. And through my last bugle here, there's a knot inside, so it might be a little bit harder to pass through, but you should still be able to. This is what I have, so the framework is done. Now I'm going to actually pass through the MiniDuo that's right here. Just like that, just the MiniDuo. And I'm gonna step up through the other hole of that MiniDuo. And I'm ready to start adding my bezel piece. So I'll pick up 4 MiniDuos and 5 15-0. So you start with a 15-0 and then you put on 4 MiniDuos with 15-0s between them. And I'm just gonna find the next MiniDuo in this frame and pass through the free hole. Just like so. This is gonna be loose at this point, so we don't need to worry about that. Another sequence of 4 MiniDuos and 5 15-0s, and through the free hole of the next MiniDuo. Here's my third sequence. And the last one. And I pass through the hole of that first MiniDuo that I started with. Alright, now just for this to be more secure, I'm going to pass through all of those beads again. So I'm passing through all of the MiniDuos that I just added in the 15-0s. Make sure that you don't miss any of the beads. Alright, I went back through all of those beads and I'm exiting that MiniDuo that I started with. Now I'm going to step up the second hole of the first MiniDuo that I added. So I just pass through the bottom hole and step up through the upper hole of it. And I'm gonna connect the corner duos just to each other without adding anything. Just like this. And between the MiniDuos and the sides, I'm going to add a 15-0, and I've decided to mix it up a little bit. I added darker ones on the outer side, and I'll add lighter ones on the inside to kind of lighten up the stone a little bit. So I'm just connecting the free holes of the MiniDuos with the 15-0s, and on the corners, I'm just connecting the two that are next to each other. Now once you've added all of the 15-0s between the duos, you might have guessed it, we're passing through all of those beads once again so that they stay nice and tight and together. Okay, I'm done passing through all of those beads one more time, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this already looks like a very cool earring. So even if you don't have a 14mm round stone, you can just stop here and this is a cool earring. But if you do want to turn it into a bezel, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to step down and find myself in the back coming out of one of those original MiniDuos from the frame. And I'm going to pass through the first duo in the next row in order to step down through its other hole. Just like this, because I want to reach that original MiniDuo. That's it. I'm going to go to the back, just through the hole, because I want to be in the back of my beadwork. And I'm going to do exactly the same. So I pick up 4 MiniDuos and 5 15-0s. And I just look for the next MiniDuo that was in the original frame. And well, they don't have free holes anymore, but I pass through this inner hole of it. These are gonna place themselves just like this. I add another sequence, and that's gonna be 3 more so that I have all of the sides done. After you're done adding all of the sides, once again, pass through the beads one more time to secure them in place. And don't forget to pass through those MiniDuos in the frame. And once you're done securing that, you want to pass through that first 15-0 and MiniDuo that was added in order to step up its free hole. And you're ready for the next row, which is going to be connecting these MiniDuos in the corners and along the sides, connecting them with 15-0s. Just make sure that you stop around half the way, so after 2 sides, to put in your stone. Alright, I'm halfway done with the back of this bezel, so I'm going to pick up my stone. And because the front and the back are going to be the same, it doesn't really matter whether you put it facing you or facing the other way. I just think that the front part of the bezel is usually tighter than the back part, so that's how I'm going to put it in. Just like that, it will pop in between the 2 layers of MiniDuos. I do believe that this will be possible with a 14mm Rivoli as well. And now I'm just going to continue tightening my bezel and connecting my MiniDuos. And here's my final 15-0. As you can see, this still requires some tightening and adjusting. So naturally, you want to pass through all of those beads one more time. And voila, the bezel is done. Now I just need to pass back down to reach one of those round drag bead points or corners. Now it wouldn't be very easy to pass through just one MiniDuo on the back here, but since it's the back, I don't care. I'm just gonna pass through the hole of that last MiniDuo. It's gonna go much easier passing through that bottom hole of those. And it doesn't matter that there's going to be thread visible, it's the back. And in any case, you want to be able to reach that corner MiniDuo from the frame again. It's the easiest to just go from the front to the back. Just like that. And I'm going to pass up through the other hole. You might want to maneuver around here a little bit, because it's quite tight in here. Now this one is connected to this bugle, so I just pass through this bugle. and up through the 11-0 and round drag bead. And I'm ready to add my loop, which I'm going to use to hang my earring on the ear wire. And this is going to be very simple. It's just going to be a round drag bead, 3 11-0s, and another round bead. And I pass through the bead that my thread is coming out of, just like this. It's going to be a perfect loop to hang our earring from the ear wire. And now I'm going to pass through all of those beads 3 more times just to make them extra secure. And my earring's ready. I can now open up this ear wire. I make sure that I put it on front first. And that's it. You just put it on, close it up by squeezing it, and the earrings are ready to wear. I really love how these turned out, and I really love the colorway. It's so fun. It's not too bright and not too light, but it has just enough color. And those stones in this pattern pop so beautifully. I really, really like it. Plus the 15mm bugle beads, just awesome. All of the supplies that I used to make these earrings are in our December 2025 Fairy Lake Collection LITE. They're also available separately at eurekacrystalbeads.com. I hope you liked this tutorial. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know in the comments what I could be doing better for you. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next tutorial. Bye!